I was really looking forward to this game when I saw Jim Sterling playing an early build of it. It looked like it would be a fun stealth RPG looking game, but there's just something about it that doesn't resonate with me. Now, before I begin this review, I want to say that there may not be a lot of varied game footage. I've been having the hardest time with my game capture software. It's been locking up and crashing every 5 to 15 minutes. And this has been a new issue, which started with my Dragon Ball FighterZ review. But it wasn't an issue for my Tales of Berseria review, nor my ukulele one. And this video would have gotten out a lot sooner if it wasn't for this problem. Ghost of a Tale was developed mostly by one person, Lionel Gallet, a veteran DreamWorks and Universal animator, and was the animation director for The Prince of Egypt, which I never saw, The Road to El Dorado, which I didn't see all of, and A Shark Tale, which I was dragged to see on a first date. So, all of his movies can't be winners, unfortunately. Gallet started development shortly after finishing work on the Lorax in 2012. There was an Indiegogo campaign in 2013 to fund the game. Gallet took inspiration from The Secret of NIMH, which you can see is a heavy influence, The Dark Crystal, and Disney's Robin Hood, which is probably one of my favorite animated Disney movies. Games like Dark Souls, Echo, or however it's pronounced, nor do I care, and The Legend of Zelda were also inspirations. The game was originally being developed with the CryEngine, but Gallet found it too difficult to work with and switched to Unity, and from my experience, Unity is easier to work with. It's primarily a PC title, but Microsoft was interested in the project, and a PS4 and Xbox One version are planned to be released at the end of this year. Graphically, this game is really good. Tilo, the character that you play as, looks like a real mouse. And the rats look pretty realistic too, although they are a little anthropomorphic. They're not cartoony looking like you'd see from The Secret of NIMH, but they do have just enough style to make it believable that these are more than just regular animals. Gallet did not spare any expense when it came to the look of this game, which is a testament to his skill as an animator, and the animations are done really well. The rats move pretty realistically considering for what they are. They move like they have a lot of weight to them, giving them that lumbering creature to be avoided feeling. Tilo moves in the opposite manner, being lighter and more agile. The environments are beautiful and highly detailed. I feel like I can reach into the game and be able to touch everything, expecting everything to feel like how it looks. However, there is one issue. Items tend to blend into the environment. There was a key hanging on the wall that took me longer than what was probably intended to find. I think a glowing aura around an item that I would need would be a very helpful indicator. I probably passed many a thing that I needed just because I didn't see it, as it blended very well into the environment. The sound design is pretty good, it's very atmospheric, and the music that plays when you're spotted gets panic-inducing when you're trying to run from the rats. Tilo controls very well, but the face button layout is weird. It feels like it was rotated counterclockwise. A interacts with things, B jumps, Y throws things. The D-pad will cycle through your objects and equip and unequip them. Left trigger sprints and right trigger sneaks. I can't tell you how many times I was trying to jump but would be hitting the interact button, because I'm so programmed to use A to jump. The gameplay is all about being smarter than your enemies and sneaking around. There's plenty of things to hide in and stay hidden from your enemy. However, the enemy AI isn't that intelligent. They have 4 states of awareness. Not aware symbolized by a black diamond that fills up with red depending on how much noise you're making. Yellow means they're suspicious and looking around. Red means that they see you and will give chase. And once you give them the slip, they change to blue and then go back to whatever pre-programmed path they were on. They completely forget about you, even if they attacked you once you get into a hiding spot. Once you get into a hiding spot, and it doesn't even have to be that good of a one, they'll give up. They won't search you out for a little bit longer. Nope, they just go, oh well, and reset. You're able to knock enemies out by throwing stuff at their heads. Knocked out enemies don't seem to alert the others in the area that they're in, and once they wake up, their awareness doesn't change. They stand up and go back to whatever they were doing. So these aren't the smartest of bad guys. The only real challenge I found was from searching for everything that I needed and exploring all over the place. The stealth is really good, but it's really easy to not get caught. The quests just seem to be nothing but fetch quests. Go find all this stuff that's strewn about all over the area, come back and then do something else to collect this and that. Worst of all is that there will be quests towards the end of the game that'll have you go all the way back to the beginning area for one thing and then go back to where you were. Some people may be ready to call me a hypocrite because of my love for Metroid, a series that is known for backtracking. There is a huge difference. Metroid's backtracking doesn't take a long time, nor is it boring. It's faster and more action-orientated, with the exception of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes that can piss right off for its dual-world backtracking. And it doesn't help that the story is rather boring. Over the course of the story, Tilo's looking for his wife, and it's revealed that he has, I think, a dead child. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to really get into a game with a bland story, even if the gameplay is good. I think this game could be better with a little bit more hand-holding than what it does. And I know that hand-holding is a bad term to use, especially when you ask for a game to do it, as you get those elitists that go, "Filthy casuals, get good." But hear me out on this one. This game is rather easy. The stealth is fun, but the fetch quests and story make it feel like the game is dragging its feet every single step of the way. My first 90 minutes felt like 5 hours of accomplishing nothing. And it doesn't help that some areas felt and looked the same, so at times I was pointlessly backtracking. Then, after getting out of the prison, I was told that I had to go back into it, talk to the frog that I talked to in the beginning after collecting a suit of armor that lets me get past the rats. So this way I could go into the sewer to get spider anti-venom. And I want to tell you something. That took me 30 minutes and it felt like 3 hours. There's also a couple of little technical issues. The game takes forever to load. I'm rocking 32 gigs of RAM and the recommended is 4. And that's just to get to the title screen and to load the main game. And to load your most recent save, it takes a long time as well. Out of all the games that I've played on this PC, I think this one takes the longest to load. So you may have long load times depending on your hardware configurations. The recommended GPU is an Nvidia GTX 770 with 3 gigs of video RAM. I have a GTX 980 Ti with 6. And there's times where the frame rate stutters in areas where it didn't stutter before, and stuttering in areas where it shouldn't stutter at all. Frame rate stuttering is a rare occurrence though, it's just strangely infrequent and random. I do hope that the Xbox One and PS4 versions won't have these issues. I'm not trying to sound too hard on the game, but I want you to understand that this was mostly a one-man team. So if it feels lacking when compared to other stealth games, you're not going to get a Metal Gear Solid type of experience, nor are you going to get a Dark Souls one. This is a game that's for a very, very niche audience. I thought I would like it because if you look through all the videos that I've done, I probably fall on that technically a furry but trying not to be weird about it spectrum. Ghost of a Tale is a game that shows that there was a lot of care and love put into this game, and it really shows. And being priced at $25 is actually a really fair price for what you're getting. And it sounds like I may be giving this game a full price rating from what I just said, but no. You need to curb your expectations for this game. It does what it does well, but you shouldn't expect too much from it. I may revisit this game at a later date because something about it and something about this review just doesn't sit right with me. But we'll see later on down the road.